Hi, this is Jen, and I'm going to talk you through sewing partial seams, which is the last step in putting together the safety dance blocks. So here I have a block where I've got 3 of my HRTs surrounding my center square, and if we look closely, we can see that I left a 1/4 inch unsewn here at this edge. And so I'm getting ready to put my last HRT on this block. So I'm going to go right sides together. I'm going to line up at that right raw edge there. Go ahead and put a pin in. Apologies for a little bit of this being off camera, but there we go. So I'm lining up those raw edges. I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to just pull back the sewn parts of the block so that I can get to that little 1/4 inch that is left unsewn from the prior blocks. Here it is, a little close up. And then I'm just going to tuck those together. Might have to unpress a little bit. And I'm going to pop a pin in and put as many pins as you like. Once you get to your 7th or 8th or 12th of these, you might even forgo pins, but it's completely up to you. And so now this is ready to sew. I'm going to pan the camera over to the Juki and we'll get ready to sew. So I'm going to bring my block over. I'm going to bring it with my last HRT facing up. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch at that 1/4 inch seam, pulling out the pins, of course, as we go. Don't sew over pins, it'll mess with your machine timing. And then just being careful as I get to that last edge so that I am not sewing over or accidentally tangling up any of the other previous blocks. Here you can see I'm tucking it up out of the way just long enough to get the rest of that seam sewn all the way to the edge. And then I do like to backstitch a little bit here. And then we will flip it over. And now this is the last little bit that needs to be sewn. So here you can see where I've gestured. That's the only part of the block left unsewn. So I'm going to bring it over. You could certainly pin here. I have not. And I'm going to start right where I stopped sewing my very first seam of the entire block. So where I left that little 1/4 inch. I'm going to backstitch a little bit at the beginning and then just make my way down out to the outer edge of the block. So at this one, we're starting at the center of the block and sewing our way out. And here we have the complete and pressed full safety dance block. Here's what it looks like on the back, pressed out from that center square. And there we go. And then just repeat a whole bunch of times. Happy sewing, y'all.